Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 69 of What If Civilization Started Over. In the last episode, we saw a good amount of stuff happening, such as the Libyan partition. The Arabian Union continues its invasions of Sumatra along with Thailand. With Purple Union is getting big. Some wars happened in America, and also some stuff happened in Africa. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe as we are trying to reach 2,000 anytime, doesn't matter. And let's get straight into the video. So we're actually going to go ahead and be doing something pretty important. We're going to talk about the current year. I would say it's late 2030s, early 2040s, and that's honestly going to be pretty important for some of the events that are going to occur. But let's go ahead and start over here in Florida. Protests in Florida, especially in these Caribbean islands, in which really want self autonomy, are really starting to get bad. Multiple groups within Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, Cuba, and Jamaica are calling for independence. This starts within a rebellion from the Dominican Republic area, and it quickly gets the support of many areas within this country, or I guess within this island, and even within other islands. And it's starting to get huge, but the Floridan military is going to go ahead and, of course, put a stop to this. However, back at home, it is not doing very well as they're pretty unstable even in their mainland. However, they are able to do some pretty big damage in Cuba, knocking out a lot of these rebellions and doing some pretty great damage to the Cuban resistance. However, over here in islands like Jamaica, the full island is taken by brown team forces, as well as Puerto Rico, and where the rebellion started. As we can see, a lot of these areas being taken, including this major city, and that also includes the rest of this, I guess, peninsula. They're gonna then meet up with their areas over here, and have a two very big encirclements, technically three, as the Floridan rule in this area is very unpopular, as we can even see it start to rise up in Cuba again, and eventually all of this area is taken. A kind of like island nation archipelago is going to form over here, not even affiliating with this Brown Team Rebellion. However, it doesn't matter because the march of the Brown Team forces are occurring in Cuba as they reach Havana, in which it's taken, and the rest of Cuba is taken. However, it gets worse. America will start its invasion of Florida. Sorry if you can't see this because you might be a little colorblind. It's kind of hard to differentiate. The Floridians were absolutely not expecting this, and the Americans were very prepared. And the capital is starting to get threatened. Now, with all of their forces gone from the Caribbean, since that's pretty much a lost cause, we're going to go ahead and see them start to push back in the Georgian areas and even retake the major city. However, in the west, major operations are happening, which are taking key areas and even separating the country into multiple groups. And after a counteroffensive over here in this region, which is threatening to kind of get rid of a lot of troops in this region, we're going to go ahead and see them make a huge mistake. That mistake is kind of literally kind of doing this, and that's leaving their major cities for, America. That also leads to these lands going away. However, they are able to make a counteroffensive and take this major city back. However, that was really stupid because now these areas are just like they're American now, and that was not a very smart idea. The Brown team is going to go ahead and make its invasion into mainland Florida. And we are going to go ahead and see that Florida is gone. This nation has honestly existed for a long time, since the early episodes, because of the elves. By the way, the elves aren't really a big deal. The humans outpopulate them more, and pretty much a cultural genocide has happened. Basically, they've kind of just turned into humans. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the peace treaty of Florida. Wow, this is a big peace treaty. So, let's go ahead and start over here. So we see the Trinidad and Tobago and just the Antilles country is released as its own independent nation. We see the mainland Caribbean nation is formed with Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, Cuba, and Jamaica. A southern Florida nation is made, and well, America has, just basically become the 13 colonies and the Northwestern Territories. Um, but yeah, they've gained a lot, and they would have gained all of Florida, but a big presence that was in favor of joining the Caribbean nation, was, it was pretty much happening there. They did invade there after all. So that nation's release, we'll probably see it join up with these guys in the future. We'll just have to see. But these two guys are released, so this is like, what even is this? Mississippi? Kind of like Tennessee or like probably Tennessee or probably Mississippi. Well, this is Alabama. This guy will become the cornerstone of the series. Honestly, that's not even a joke. They will become a big deal in the next episode, and we'll have to see what happens there because it's gonna lead to a bunch of worldwide events. With this treaty out of the way, we're gonna see some more action happen in America as Oregon's gonna collapse. Oregon was, they just got kind of divided, or they just got annexed. A lot of the northern areas got annexed by Washington, so we're gonna go ahead and see this country get divided between its neighbors. So Oregon is divided between its neighbors. So all four of its neighbors gain land. Doesn't look very good, but that'll probably get solved in a second. Not this video though, and that's actually, I think, the last thing we're going to be covering in today's video with the Americas. Now we're going to go on to the more important stuff like this. Yeah, this is not going well at all. Basically, this land is just, yeah, it's not going well. The Arabians, after all, who would have thought, are not really in favor of this war that's happening overseas, as they start to lose even more. And even the Thais start to lose some of their gains in the Malay Peninsula. Eventually, the Arabian Union is going to make a decision to pull out all of its forces from Sumatra. It's quickly followed by Thailand. And, what are they going to do with this? Well, what they're actually going to do is release it under a new country. Now, this isn't the old country, this is a new country that is, it's basically, the Arabians, not puppet state, but it's pretty much guarded by the Arabians. So, we can see them gaining their independence, and that's one new country on the map. Now, let's go back to what I said would happen. Yeah, the orange country is going to go ahead and join the Central Asian Union. Now, this country is becoming decently strong. They're pretty much that old gold country that used to exist here, but with some more land. And other countries like the green team, the big blue team, and I guess that's really it. Because Kazakhstan probably doesn't want to give up its autonomy again. Uh, Iran definitely doesn't, and you probably don't either. And I wonder if this guy does. Let's go to Atlantis. This is a country I haven't really been focusing on, and for a good reason. It's not that important right now. However, half the country just broke away. Okay, so this has been kind of going on for a couple years now. The instability has gone horrible. Many times have this country almost gone into a civil war. However, this is the time. This is what's going on, and this is what's going to happen. As we can see, northern troops heading into southern territory. Something to note here is they are really close to the capital of the purple country, which is in the middle of the island. Very not good. It's good for it's good for when the country was united, but now the country isn't, so that's probably not a big advantage. That's a great set of words. Anyways, we can see the red team take big advantage of that fact that the capital is close and close in. They are going to try to have a tactic go on right here. However, it's going to fail as they get pushed back like badly. and they're getting pushed into even worse over here, as they're trying their best to defend their homeland. A Union general out here manages to do some great work and push into these western areas of the North Rebellion, and a good bit of work is happening right here. And the world is eyeing this up. They really don't know who to support. Most of the countries in the world are supporting the purple team, but then like the other alliances decides to, support the other team. But it's really just like back and forth. No team is necessarily the bad guys. However, the red guys just decided to just rebel. So they're probably the bad guys if I had to pick. However, the bad guys are going to push out the purple team and push into their country even more, as they once again eye up the capital of this country. However, that is going to do it for today's video. It's a very short video, about 11 minutes, but I don't have much time. And, yeah, I'm on a bit of a time crunch. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.